ask for Andy. Andy can show them directly what, there's something breaking down communication.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. This is Councilman Britt Moore. We're gathered here at City Hall for our March 11th, 4 p.m. meeting of the Finance Committee. And as I look around, I'm happy to say that maybe the scale's sliding a little bit back towards normal because I have my fellow committee members here in person. So that's a good feeling. So we will not have to do the roll call, but I will just let everyone know that Councilman Jones, Councilman Holmes, Councilwoman Peters, and myself are all physically present for the meeting. And we'll jump right into it. Our agenda today, item number 2021-93. It's a contract sole source concerning Amic Equipment Company. And hopefully Mr. Gary Smith is connected.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
We can, Gary. Welcome. Tell us about that.
Thank you. Fleet Services Department, we have a refuse truck grabber arm assembly that's in need of replacement due to an accident. And it's a sole source item due to the nature of the part. And the purchase from Amic Equipment Company is being recommended for council approval. And to give you the background, we had a contractor here cleaning one of our automated refuse trucks back in February. And he was moving the vehicle and struck one of their service vehicles in the process of moving the truck with the arm extended. So it damaged the assembly and it could not be repaired. We're currently working with their insurance company now for reimbursement and working out those details, but the assembly is not interchangeable with similar equipment from any other manufacturer, and Amic Equipment is the authorized dealer here in North Carolina. And the price of $42,000 is for the arm assembly and the freight.
Okay, Gary, how quickly, what's this done to our service and how quickly can we get the part and get it repaired if approved?
Well, fortunately, we do have spare trucks, so we have not had they've had the number of trucks needed daily um, to continue to service the containers. This is a newer truck, unfortunately, so we were wanting to get it back in service as quickly as possible. The part delivery is estimated around 30 to 45 days. Once it arrives, it's a pretty quick process since it's a complete assembly. We should have it installed within a day and the truck back in service.
Any further comments, questions on this item?
This is Councilman Holmes. This, you said this is one of our newer trucks, and that this damage hasn't limited our capacity in terms of service?
That is correct. We're fortunate. We do have 6 spare trucks that we keep on hand here, and fortunately, due to our replacement program, that we do have really good equipment, and the uptime is there. So we've been able to work around it, and it has not impacted them to this point.
Gary, this part warranted, and for how long, if so?
Yes, there is the standard factory warranty on this new part. It's basically a year's warranty with the new items like this. Fortunately, we damaged the original one, so there's no warranty there. But yes, this new one that will be put on will have a year warranty. And that particular part, you think about it, it services 800 to 1,000 cans 4 days a week. So it goes through a range of motion 1,600 to 2,000 times a day, 4 days a week. So it's a critical part of the truck. So it's an expensive part, but it's a critical part.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Before I move forward, Madam Clerk, it's been such a long time. For a protocol, since we're all here, do I still need to go through the procedure of this type of vote, or can we do it the
Yes,
way we
because
used to?
Yes, because the public is not allowed in. So you have to do it for the benefit of the public.
When we were in the, okay, I'll go with that and we'll talk about it later. I'll make a motion item 2021-93 be approved.
Second?
There's a motion and a second. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Holmes?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is an aye, so that motion passes. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Next item is 2021-94. We have several things coming back to back dealing with our Riverside sewer lift station. This one is a contract with Dellinger about the West Fourth Main. Terry Houck, are you on the line?
I am, sir. Can you hear me?
I can. Present, please.
Well, I'll do my best, sir. This is the Riverdale Sewer Lift Station, West Force Main. We plan for a 36-inch sanitary sewer force main. This project will carry wastewater from the Riverdale pump station to the new 42-inch Riverdale gravity sewer line that's currently under construction on the Riverdale Drive. The lift station West Force Main was part of the overall expansion of the Riverdale pump station. It consists of about 2,700 linear feet of 36-inch ductile iron, air release valves, a magnetic flow meter so we know how much flow is going through, erosion control, and site improvements at the Riverdale pump station. Currently, the pump station discharges through a 1995 36-inch force main along the outside of the landfill and the seaboard side. The new 36-inch force main will be a redundant force main for the Riverdale pump station to back up the original force main, and also can be used for future expansion of the Riverdale pump station if we decide to do so. There are a total 6 bidders. Were advertised, and Dellinger was the lowest bidder. Funds for this are available in the Water Sewer Fund. The request is for an additional $1,743,093 for the 36-inch force main. On top of that, we still have to do odor control and then any change orders that could come up, and that would close out this project. I would note that the engineering estimate for this project was 2.4 million, so it come way under budget. Public Service is recommending that council award the contract to Gallinger Incorporated in the amount of $1,743,093.
Any comments or questions? Terry, Councilman Moore, you used the terminology close out this project. Can you expound on that?
Well, remember in the original, I guess 2017 we did it? Whenever the floods hit, that's what started this project. And during the flood event, when we were doing repairs, the state stepped in and said we were undersized and we had to upgrade the facility to 30 MDD. As part of that plan, we installed a submersible pump in addition to the 3 other pumps that we have already in progress. We also realized since the first force main had failed before, we wanted redundant force main. So in an event, we could go either way if we needed to, or split the flow and go both ways. As part of the repairs, we decided to add odor control to protect the control systems and the wet wells, and to prepare for future expansion. This right here will finish out this phase of the project. If the desire is to move forward with expansion or repair of the station, then that would be a different project that is budgeted.
Thank you, Terry. I seem to remember some of that, but I just feel like sometimes these type of projects that are more of capital nature that take a long time, we had some new members come on since 2017. So some of these things need a little perspective sometimes, and refreshing for those of us that are still on.
Yeah, well, it's been a long project, I have to agree.
Any other comments, questions on this item?
Yeah, Terry, this is Councilman Holmes.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a existing relationship with Dellinger? Have they done work for us?
I will say that Dellinger is building the gravity line across the street.
Well, I was just, looking at they're about 200,000 under the next lowest bid. So I didn't know if there was, some good reason or past relationship where we were able to get.
If I was going to speculate, it's probably because they're already mobilized.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Seeing none, I'll make the motion that item 2021-94 be approved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Holmes?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore's aye. That motion passes. Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
Chairman Moore, if I could ask that you identify who is making the motion and the second for the public, please.
Oh, okay. The motion was made on the last item was made by Councilman Moore, and it was seconded by Councilwoman Peters.
That'd be great. If you guys would just identify yourselves like Madam Clerk said a while ago for the public.
All right. I'll take responsibility for that. I was so excited to have all the members here. I forgot protocol.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is 2021-95. It's an ordinance of a capital project, again, dealing with Riverdale Sewer Lift Station on the West Force Main, and the presenter is showing is Bobby Fitzjohn. Are you there?
Yes, sir, Chairman Moore. This is a project budget ordinance that will carry this Riverdale West Force Main expansion through completion, as Terry was just, talking about. This is $1.7 million contract you just approved, plus another contract that's currently out to bid, which is much smaller, and a very small contingency built in. But this will set up the project budget ordinance so that we can later issue revenue bonds to reimburse us for this project.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, I will make the motion that item 2021-95 be approved.
Second. Holmes.
There's a motion by Councilman Moore. It's been seconded by Councilman Holmes. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Holmes?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is an aye. That motion passes. Thank you, Bobby. Next item is 2021-96. It's a change order request for Crowder Construction dealing with some phase one repairs at Riverdale Pump Station. Terry, are you still with us?
I am, sir.
All right, go ahead.
This is the Riverdale Pump Station Phase 1 repairs to Crowder. It's change order 3. We're requesting you approve change order 3 to Crowder Construction for additional construction materials and work outside the scope of the original contract for the repair of Riverdale Pump Station. In 2019, City Council awarded the contract to Crowder Construction for $3,726,504 to construct Phase 1 expansion. It included installation of the 10 MGD submersible, construction of additional piping to connect the existing force main, and connection of a new generator and electrical equipment to increase capacity 30 MGD. The project declared a pressing need. Change order number 3 is the final adjusting change order and includes additional items required for the lift station and unforeseen conditions. Public Services recommending that council approve change order 3 to Crowder Construction Company in the amount of $146,864.62. I take that back. We didn't go back as far as 2017. We went back to 2019. Still a long time.
Any comments or questions? In this change order request, just a couple examples of unforeseen conditions you found there?
Well, one of the ironic things is that we have to meet the new code requirements. And in the wet well location area, we have 2 access hatches. We had to install a new access hatch to remove the submersible. That access hatch had to be watertight to meet the new code requirements. However, the access hatch that allows us to go in the wet well is not watertight, but we have to meet the new code requirements. We had to install some hydraulic pumps, we changed the position of the chairs to get aluminum stairs to get in and out of the building. Had to do some additional fencing. Had to do some pressure grout and still install an odor vent for the future odor control system.
The new code requirements came from where?
The state and our code enforcement. And Public Services always brings, we believe if the code requirement requires it to be done, we do it. We don't ask for a grandfather clause because we hold ourselves accountable just like everybody else.
Any other comments or questions on this item? Anybody want to jump in with a motion, or you want me to keep going with a routine?
Jones.
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilman Jones and a second by Councilwoman Peters. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Holmes?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is an aye. That motion passes. The next item is 2021-97. It's a sole source contract for repair of centrifuge number 1. This is at our East Side wastewater treatment plant. Terry?
Yes, sir. Public Services is requesting that GEA be allowed to perform the emergency repair on centrifuge number 1 at East Side wastewater treatment plant. We have 2 centrifuges at the plant that are used for dewatering solids as part of the wastewater treatment plant. The centrifuges were installed as part of the upgrade to residuals management facility in 2016. Centrifuge number 1 recently experienced excessive vibration and went into shutdown mode, which it is programmed to do. Upon further investigation, it was determined that the coupling between the motor and the gearbox has failed, and the exact cause of the failure cannot be determined without disassembling the unit. GEA is the manufacturer of the unit, and we are recommending that they perform their major rebuild, which basically replace gasket seals and bearings or as part of the emergency repair. You know, we're recommending that to maximize the life of the unit since they're fairly new, and to use only GEA parts. Public Service is recommending that GEA be approved as a sole source vendor to perform an emergency repair rebuild of centrifuge number 1 at the wastewater treatment plant for $70,779.47.
Question?
Terry, this is Councilman Holmes. What is the normal expected life cycle of this unit?
Well, I can't say on this unit, but I can say on our last unit, sir, they were installed in, I think, 1996 or 97, and they were replaced in 2016.
Thank you.
How long is the unit down and expected to be down?
I expect it to be down probably, I'm going to put in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 weeks. We have another unit. The units are exactly the same size, sir. So typically we only run one unit at a time anyway. And they act as redundant backups for each, in case one goes down.
Okay.
We always build redundant backups because, things fail.
Anything else from the committee? Seeing none, I'll make this motion that we approve item 2021-97 for approval.
Thank you.
There's a motion on the floor and seconded by Councilman Jones. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Holmes?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is an aye. That motion passes. Next item is 2021-98. It's a contract staying at the focus of the East Side wastewater treatment plant, and it has to do with a UV system replacement. Mr. Howe?
I'm still here, sir.
All right.
Public Service is requesting that council approve a contract to Hazen for engineering design work for replacement of the existing UV system at Eastside Wastewater Treatment Plant. The current UV system, which is Trojan, began operation in 1999 and is really near the end of its life cycle. We only have about less than 1 year left that we can require, that we can obtain spare parts for this unit from the original manufacturer. Typical lifespan is about 20 years. This is an open channel UV system which use high intensity medium pressure UV lamps installed horizontally and parallel to flow for disinfection. And this was standard in 1999. The system was configured when it was first built so that typically only one channel would be online based on the flow. But due to the condition of the system and some failures of the control system, we actually have 3 units on pretty much all the time. And because of that, we're using a lot of power. Our main concern is we're not going to be able to get replacement parts for it. The scope of the project will be to perform engineering design work for replacement of the existing UV system with a new UV system. The part of the project is to prepare UV equipment pre-selection and RFP. There's basically 3 manufacturers out there that could probably meet the criteria. Whatever one we decide to pick based on the price or the, price and or how dependable they are, then we would design the new UV system around this particular UV system. We'd also install a new partial flume structure. It would be developed and tied into existing facilities. Demo of the existing UV system, bidding phase service and construction management activities, including submittal and inspection services. Funds for this project are available in 2021 budget. We recommend approval and ask council approve the professional engineering service to Hazen, the amount of $825,000. Estimated cost of the UV system is around $5 million. It includes an extra channel for what we believe will be a future expansion of east side to 32 MGD, which we are negotiating with the state now. The design of the expansion will be based on whatever effluent numbers we receive from DEQ, and we have not received anything yet. Please note that 825 is a not to exceed number, but it's broken down in the appendix of what tasks are being performed.
Comments or questions on this item? Terry, we're used to in a lot of our other areas that we get requests from. In your department, and I'm not expecting this, I'm kind of asking it redundantly, but I think it's worth asking. Do any of these parts, for example, is there an aftermarket for this stuff at all?
There is an aftermarket. We have tried aftermarkets. They usually don't last very long, but I mean, we have been able to limp through by pulling. Basically what fails on these systems are the lamps and basically the cleaning cycle. There's a tube with a lamp, but there's also a slide that goes back and forth hydraulically to clean it so you get maximum transmission of the UV. Typically they fail. The biggest thing it fails is the ballast, which fires the UV lamps. Currently, when the system fails, it takes 7 to 10 minutes for the system to restart, to begin disinfection. Recently, the state has been requiring us to list that as a spill. Historically, in the past, they have not. Luckily for us, all we have to do is report it as a spill. And although it saves down for 7 minutes, they're based on the amount of quantity of water coming out, we would not violate any kind of fecal or disinfection violation. We would never approach that issue. The new units are, for lack of a better term, fast restart. They should restart within 3 minutes max. If you automate the system, you could probably have the UV system that shuts down automatically turn on the other UV system and it's not shut down and start it up faster. So, and again, the new systems will use a lot less power, so you should save money on your power costs.
Thank you.
Terry, this is Councilman Holmes. This system upgrade is this kind of get us out of the way of potential DEQ issues?
As much as I did say it, sir, I think as long as it shuts down and flow is not, I had to say it, the UV system is off, we'll probably have to still send in a spill report. But apparently the systems are getting better where they can do basically an automatic restart or have what they consider battery backup in case you get a blip. And really what it is, it's a blip. It's not really a power failure. It's a momentary blip and it just takes the system offline. If the units at West Side, which are our latest units, could have been used for this unit, we probably might have requested a sole source and standardized between the plants. But those systems are getting close to be outdated too. So that's why we opened it up to multiple vendors to see what we can obtain. The reason we maintained this system as long as we did, when we upgraded West Side UV system is exactly what East Side UV system is now. For lack of a better term, we scavenged all the good parts off of the old system and saved them as spare parts for this system. But we've about used up all our spare parts.
Sounds like the city could benefit from having a fab shop somewhere.
Do what, sir?
I was just saying, we seem like we could benefit from having a fab shop where we could fabricate some of these parts somewhere.
Well, yeah, we've been able to patch into the ballast. It's not easy, but we've been able to do it. You'd be surprised what you got to do when you can.
Yeah, I understand that. Thanks, Terry.
You're welcome, sir.
Any other comments? And hearing none, I'll make the motion item 2021-98 be approved.
Second. Holmes.
Go with that. Councilman Holmes has made the second on this one, and Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jones, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is an aye. That motion passes. Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome, sir.
The next item is 2021-99, and this is a resolution of the sale of city-owned property at 707 East Kearns Avenue. And with us today is Ms. Kim Thor.
Hello. The adjoining owner has offered a bid of $9,000 for a city-owned lot at 707 East Kearns Avenue. The property is about 16,117 square feet or a little less. We acquired it through foreclosure in the 1940s. We found no use for the property. We'd like city council approval to sell through the upset bid procedure.
Trying to get to a pick. Any questions on this item? Okay. Seeing none, I'll make that motion that this item 2021-99 be approved.
Second, Peters.
There is a second by Councilwoman Peters, and we'll go right back to her. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
And Councilman Moore is an aye. That motion passes. Since I have each other here, we'll all look at each other and I'll ask, is there anybody that opposes adjourning this meeting? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.